Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something big, a new plan for artificial intelligence in America. But this isn't just about cool new tech. It frames AI as a massive, high-stakes race, one that could literally define the country's future for the next 100 years. So that quote really sets the stage, doesn't it? It gets to the heart of what America's AI action plan is all about. This isn't just about, the next big gadget. It's about framing AI as a global race, a race that has huge consequences for both the economy and the military. Okay, so what are the stakes here? I mean, how big a deal is this really? Well, according to the people behind this plan, this is the pivotal moment. They talk about it like an infinite game. And get this, they say the consequences of falling behind are, quote, unthinkable. And that's a pretty bold statement, right? It really drills down into the core belief driving this whole plan, that for America to stay on top, economically and militarily, leading in AI isn't just a nice-to-have, it's an absolute must. So, the big question is, how? How does the plan actually propose to win this race? Well, it's not just one thing. The strategy is built on a few core pillars, and they're designed to completely shake up how the country approaches technology, starting with how we innovate.
All right, pillar number 1. It really boils down to one word: speed. The entire goal here is to tear down the barriers and just slam the accelerator on developing and, just as importantly, deploying new AI tech everywhere.
So how do you get that speed? Well, the plan wants to replace what it calls onerous regulation, all the bureaucratic red tape, with something called a try-first culture. And a key tool for this is the regulatory sandbox. Think of it like a protected playground for companies. They can get in there and test out brand new AI ideas in the real world fast, without getting bogged down. And this push for speed goes all the way to the top. The idea here is to avoid what could become a total mess, a patchwork of 50 different AI rules for 50 different states. The argument is you just can't have that. It would completely hamstring American innovators, especially when they're up against a competitor like China, which has one single unified game plan. Okay, so you've got the ideas flowing, you've got the innovation happening fast. But that's only half the story, right? You can't run a world-changing AI revolution with just code. And that brings us to pillar number 2, infrastructure. We're talking about the massive physical stuff you need to actually power it all. And this is where the plan gets really real. It faces a huge challenge head-on. AI needs an absolutely insane amount of energy, way more than America is used to building. To put it in perspective, one source in the plan projects that by 2030, China is on track to build 3 times as much new energy generation as the US. That's a massive gap. This need for energy, it's actually part of a much bigger story. It's a call to re-industrialize the whole country. And the plan is brutally honest about it. It admits that there's a huge shortage of skilled people in manufacturing, the welders, the electricians, the folks who actually build things, a problem that's been growing for decades. So this is really important to understand. The plan isn't just about throwing money at fancy new chips and data centers. It's just as focused on the nuts and bolts, the physical world. We're talking about modernizing the energy grid and, maybe most importantly, training up the army of skilled electricians and welders you need to actually get it all built. All right, so we've got faster innovation and we're building the infrastructure. So what comes next? Well, the plan turns to what might be its most ambitious part, a whole new vision for the American worker in the age of AI. Now, we've all heard the stories about AI taking jobs, right? This plan flips that script completely. Instead of being a job killer, it frames AI as a tool that gives everyday workers superpowers. That's the word they use. It's all about amplifying what people can do, not replacing them. And here's what that looks like in the real world. I mean, this is a fantastic example. The plan points to stories like this one, from a nurse who says AI helps automate all the boring paperwork. And what does that do? It frees her up to spend more time with patients. Doing the human stuff that actually matters. And it's not just in healthcare. Check this out. In advanced manufacturing, the story is just as incredible. You have companies reporting that with AI-driven systems, They can take people from totally different backgrounds, a bus driver, a nurse, someone straight out of high school, and train them for a super high-tech factory job in just 30 days. That's a game changer.
And all of this is feeding into something people are starting to call a new collar boom. It's not blue collar, it's not white collar, it's new collar. And the focus is squarely on creating these great, well-paying jobs in manufacturing, in the skilled trades, and healthcare that you don't need a 4-year degree to get.
Okay, so let's bring this all back home. What does this AI-powered renaissance, as the plan calls it, what does it actually mean for you, for your career?
This is where the plan really brings it all together with a clear message for every single one of us. And the takeaway is simple. Being able to understand and work with AI, that's not going to be a special skill anymore. It's going to be the new baseline, just like knowing how to use a computer is today.
And look, this isn't just some vague, high-level idea. The plan lays out actual, practical steps for professionals. It's telling you to invest in your own AI literacy. That means learning new skills like prompt engineering, which is basically just learning how to talk to an AI to get what you want, and really digging in to understand how AI is going to specifically change your industry.
So, at the end of the day, that's what this action plan is. It's a huge declaration of intent. It's putting a stake in the ground, saying AI is a top national priority. And it leaves every single one of us, in every profession, with a really clear and urgent call to action. You need to adapt, you need to learn, and you need to get ready to lead in this new age of AI.